Have you ever felt that burning sensation when urinating, as if fire were running through your bladder? Have you ever had to rush to the bathroom every 10 minutes, only to leave frustrated because just a few painful drops came out? If this sounds familiar, stay with me until the end of this video, because what I'm about to share can truly change your routine, your urinary health, and even your quality of life. Urinary tract infection is a much more common problem than most people realize. And it's not just uncomfortable. It robs you of peace, disrupts your sleep, affects your mood, and in more serious cases, it can even damage your kidney. Many people believe that antibiotics are the only solution, but the truth is, they're not the ultimate answer. Those who have experienced recurrent infections know this well. You treat one, think it's solved, but in just a few weeks, the symptoms come back. It's a tiring, draining cycle that feels like it will never end. But here's something almost no one talks about. The key to breaking this cycle may lie in your diet. Yes, the foods you put on your plate every day can be your biggest allies in preventing urinary infections and fighting the bacteria that keep attacking your bladder. And the best part, they are natural, affordable, and they work silently inside your body, strengthening your urinary system without causing side effects. In this video, I'm going to show you the 10 most powerful foods against the bacteria that cause urinary tract infections. These are not random tips you find anywhere, but well-validated information that explains why each food works in a specific way to protect your urinary tract. You'll understand how they work, how to include them in your daily routine, and most importantly, why starting to consume them might be the smartest step you've ever taken to take care of your bladder and your intimate health. So, if you're tired of living with pain, constant bathroom trips, and fear of new flare-ups, this video is for you. Watch until the end, because the last food on the list is the most surprising of all, and almost no one realizes just how powerful it is at protecting against urinary infections in a natural and effective way. Before we go on, let me ask you something very important. This channel has one clear goal: to reach 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible, so more people suffering from urinary infections can access content like this. And I need your help. If this topic makes sense to you, click the subscribe button right now and activate the bell. And more. YouTube only pushes this video to more people if there's interaction. That's why I need at least 100 comments on this video. So go ahead and write down here: I want to get rid of urinary infection. This isn't just to support the channel. It's also a way for you to make a commitment to yourself, showing that you're ready to take care of your urinary health naturally. Now, let's get to what really matters. Why does diet play such a decisive role in preventing urinary infections? The answer is simple. Everything you put on your plate turns into fuel for your body. Some foods weaken immunity, alter the urine's pH, and make it easier for bacteria to multiply. Others work in the opposite direction. They strengthen defenses, balance intestinal and urinary flora, and make it harder for microorganisms to stick to the bladder. What most people don't realize is that the bladder isn't an isolated island. It's connected to the functioning of the intestines, the immune system, and even hydration. In other words, when you adjust your diet, you're not just indirectly killing bacteria, you're creating an environment where they have a much harder time multiplying. That's why understanding the power of food isn't just a detail, it's the foundation of prevention. It's like building an invisible protective wall around your intimate health. And throughout this video, you'll discover that there are fruits, spices, vegetables, and even common seasonings that, when consumed wisely, act as natural defenders against urinary tract infection. And believe me, many times, the difference between someone who suffers from constant relapse and another person who never had a problem again lies precisely in what they eat every day. If there's one food that has already gained worldwide fame when it comes to urinary infection, it's cranberry. And it's no coincidence. This little red fruit is like a natural shield for the bladder. But do you know why it's so powerful? It's not magic, it's science. Cranberries contain substances called proanthocyanidins, which have a unique role. They prevent bacteria, especially Escherichia coli, the main culprit of urinary infection, from clinging to the bladder walls. In other words, instead of settling and multiplying, the bacteria are flushed out with the urine. This drastically reduces the chances of a flare-up starting. Now, many people mistakenly think that just drinking some sweetened cranberry juice will solve the problem. The truth is, the best option is to consume cranberry in capsules, concentrated extracts, or pure unsweetened juice. That's how it really provides effective protection. The most interesting part is that cranberries don't just work as prevention, they also help those who already suffer from recurring infections, reducing the frequency of flare-ups. It's like an invisible barrier, always there, making it harder for bacteria to attack. If you've never tried it, it's worth talking to your doctor or nutritionist about the best way to include cranberry in your routine. For many patients, it becomes an indispensable ally in the fight against urinary infection. If I told you there's a natural, inexpensive antibiotic that you probably already have in your kitchen, would you believe me? Well, that's exactly what garlic represents. Far beyond seasoning food, it's one of the most powerful foods when it comes to fighting bacteria, including those that cause urinary tract infections. The secret lies in a substance called allicin, released when garlic is crushed or chopped. This compound has such strong antimicrobial action that it can inhibit the growth of several bacteria. This means that by consuming garlic regularly, you're strengthening your body to react better against infection flare-ups. And it doesn't stop there. Garlic also has anti-inflammatory effects, helping to reduce irritation and swelling in the urinary tract. In other words, it not only acts against the root cause, bacteria, but also relieves unpleasant symptoms like pain and the constant feeling that your bladder never empties completely. The best way to benefit is to eat garlic raw or lightly heated, since too much heat can destroy some of the allicin. Some people use garlic extract capsules as an alternative, especially those who don't like its strong flavor. It may sound too simple, but don't underestimate the power of this food. Small changes, like adding raw garlic cloves to salads, sauces, or even into the famous immunity shot with lemon, can make a huge difference. Did you know the human body is home to trillions of bacteria? And they're not all bad. In fact, there's an army of good bacteria working silently to protect your health. And that's where probiotics come in. Probiotics are present in foods like natural yogurt, kefir, kombucha, and even in specific capsules. They have an essential role, balancing intestinal and vaginal flora. When this flora is healthy, harmful bacteria like Escherichia coli have a much harder time spreading and causing urinary infections. It's as if these good bacteria occupy all the available space, leaving no room for harmful microorganisms to settle. On top of that, probiotics strengthen the immune system, making the body more prepared to react when something threatens the urinary tract. Here's an important detail. People who suffer from recurrent urinary infections often also face flora imbalances because of frequent antibiotic use. These drugs, while necessary in some cases, kill both bad and good bacteria. And that's when probiotics become indispensable, helping restore this natural balance. Adding probiotics to your daily routine can be as simple as swapping a snack for a sugar-free natural yogurt, or making kefir a daily habit. And for those who prefer convenience, capsules are also a great alternative. Think of them as an invisible defense team working behind the scenes to protect your bladder. When it comes to preventing urinary infection, there's one golden rule you should never forget. Hydration is everything. The more water you drink, the more urine your body produces. And urine works like a natural detergent, flushing the urinary tract and helping eliminate bacteria before they can settle in the bladder. Many people who suffer from recurrent urinary infection don't even realize they're not drinking enough water. The urine becomes more concentrated, which creates the perfect environment for bacteria to multiply. That's why staying hydrated is one of the simplest and most effective steps to protect your bladder's health. And it's not just plain water that helps. Fruits rich in water, such as watermelon, are powerful allies. They are about 90% water and also provide vitamins and antioxidants that strengthen the body. By eating watermelon, you naturally stimulate urine production, creating a true internal cleansing effect without effort. A practical tip is to always keep a water bottle nearby, even at home, and make watermelon part of your daily routine, whether as fresh slices, unsweetened natural juice, or even in refreshing salad. The more you hydrate your body, the less chance bacteria have to survive. Remember, drinking water and eating hydrating fruits isn't just a generic health recommendation, it's a direct strategy to fight urinary infection. If you've ever had a urinary infection, you know it's not just the bacteria that cause discomfort. The inflammation it triggers in the bladder and urinary tract is responsible for much of the pain, burning, and that constant urge to run to the bathroom. That's where ginger comes in as one of the best natural allies. This common kitchen root contains a compound called gingerol, which has strong anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial effects. In other words, ginger works on two fronts. It helps reduce the inflammation caused by the EE infection and, at the same time, creates an environment less favorable for bacteria to multiply. That means less pain, less swelling, and a faster recovery. On top of that, ginger strengthens the immune system, giving the body extra support to respond better against new flare-ups. And the good news is, it can be consumed in many ways, in hot teas, grated into juices, added to dishes, or even in capsule form. The important thing is that it's present regularly in your routine. Many people report that adding ginger to their daily diet not only helped reduce urinary infection symptoms, but also boosted their overall energy, since it stimulates circulation and helps the body eliminate toxins. It's like a natural reinforcement working from the inside out. So if you're looking for a simple and affordable way to relieve inflammation and strengthen your urinary health, ginger is a sure choice. If cranberry is already known as a protector of urinary health, what few people know is that it's not alone in this mission. Blueberries, as well as other red fruits, strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries also provide a real arsenal of defense against the bacteria that cause urinary infections. These fruits are rich in antioxidants and bioactive compounds that, just like cranberries, make it harder for Escherichia coli to stick to the bladder walls. In other words, by eating these fruits, you reduce the chances of bacteria attaching and triggering a flare-up. Plus, their antioxidants fight free radicals, strengthen the immune system, and reduce inflammatory processes in the urinary tract. Another important benefit, red fruits have a mild diuretic effect, increasing urine production and helping flush out harmful microorganisms. It's as if, in addition to providing biochemical protection, they also help with the internal cleaning process, keeping your bladder healthy. And the good news is, they're easy to include in your routine, in natural juices, smoothies, fruit salad, or even as a quick snack. The more colorful your plate, the more nutrients you give your body, and the stronger your defense becomes against recurring urinary infection. So don't underestimate the power of blueberries and red fruits. They may be small, but their protection is massive. Many people associate green vegetables only with healthy eating in general, but what few realize is that they actually work like a protective shield against urinary infection. Spinach, kale, broccoli, and arugula are packed with vitamins A, C, K, and B complex, along with minerals like magnesium, iron, and calcium. This combination directly strengthens the immune system, leaving the body more prepared to fight off invading bacteria. Another key point is the fiber content in these vegetables, which helps keep the intestines working properly. And why is that important? Because when the intestines are sluggish, harmful bacteria, like the dreaded E. coli, have a greater chance of migrating to the urinary tract and causing an infection. In other words, keeping your bowels regular is an essential part of prevention. On top of that, vegetables like kale and spinach contain antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compounds that reduce irritation in the urinary tract. That means less inflammation, less pain, and a more balanced body. A practical tip is to add these vegetables raw in salads or blend them into green juices with fruits. The more natural and varied, the greater the positive impact. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Small daily portions already make a huge difference in strengthening your urinary health. Remember, a well-nourished body is a protected body. Green vegetables aren't just diet food, they're silent allies that help keep you out of the exhausting cycle of recurrent infections. To close this list with a golden key, we need to talk about turmeric, also known as curcumin or golden spice. This common kitchen seasoning is one of the most powerful natural substances when it comes to fighting inflammation and strengthening the body against infections, including urinary infections. The secret of turmeric lies in a compound called curcumin, which has intense anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. It helps reduce irritation in the urinary tract, making it harder for bacteria to multiply and settle. On top of that, turmeric strengthens immunity, which means the body reacts faster and more effectively to any threat. You can use it in teas, juices, savory recipes, or even in capsule form, always remembering that curcumin's absorption is greatly enhanced when combined with black pepper. It's a simple detail, but one that significantly boosts the effectiveness of this special spice. Now, before wrapping up, let me ask you something important. If this content made sense to you and brought useful information, leave a like. That shows you support the channel and helps YouTube deliver this video to even more people suffering from urinary infection. And don't leave just yet. Right here on the screen, another video is already popping up that will surprise you even more about the connection between diet and health. Click now and keep discovering information that almost no one talks about, but that can transform the way you take care of your urinary health naturally and intelligently.